it is quite a tricky field to navigate, so I wanted to do this video, and also I can look back on this video once I've gotten started with my honours degree and can be like, oh, I agree with some of this, I don't agree with some of this. It's like a video diary. I can kind of track what my thinking is. A bit of a backstory, if you guys don't know, I'm doing a Bachelor of Applied Science, in particular occupational therapy, at the University of Sydney. I was offered a place in the honours program due to my weighted average mark. The criteria to be accepted into the honours program was basically to have a credit average mark, so that was 65 plus, and depending on how many people applied, that determines how many people got accepted. So if a lot of people applied, then you would have to get a higher average mark, but if only a little bit of people applied, then people that got 65 and above could be offered a place. Just a little story on how I decided I want to do honours, because I kind of want to show what my decision thinking is and share that with you guys, but I don't want to say, well, this is what you have to do, this is what you don't have to do. It was quite a long and back and forth arduous process. How I got offered a place was an email got sent out, and they were basically like, if you want to get into honours, apply. So I applied, not really thinking much, because I thought that it would be really competitive and there would be a lot of people that wanted to apply. So I just applied because I knew my weighted average mark was meeting the criteria. I had a distinction weighted average mark, which was 75, and then I got an email back saying I was accepted, and I had to basically choose what honours project topic that I wanted to do. So each university and each course is going to have a different pathway for doing an honours degree. Some extend for an extra year after you finish your bachelor's, but my one was integrated into my program, so that means I would actually finish at the same time that I would my normal past bachelor's degree. So that's why I actually ended up doing my honours degree and accepting the offer, because I figured, you know, I'm already going to spend the next year and a half finishing my degree, so I might as well get more out of it, because again, I'm only going to be in uni for 4 years. I was like, well, I've got nothing to lose. Honours doesn't really extend anything in my degree in terms of getting a job. I mean, some employers might look at it and be like, oh, it's really cool that you did honours, but some employers don't care whether you did honours or not. They will hire you based on your personality, your likes and interests, whether you fit the team. As an occupational therapist and a healthcare provider, that's what they kind of look for, and they look at your skills more so than your academic profile, I guess. But I decided, you know what, my parents immigrated from Vietnam and China, and I grew up here. I can speak English fluently, I can read and write. I actually love English, and I even did extension 2 English in high school, and I love doing a major work and a project, so I decided I can do it. Even though it might be extremely stressful and I might have a lot of trials and tribulations throughout, I can see myself completing it and being really proud of it once I finish. So that was kind of my overall thinking of why I should do it. But there were also a lot of specific things that I thought about, the pros and cons, and so I'm just going to go through that list right now. Really evaluate what honours actually brings to your degree, if it is worth the extra time that you have to put in. Does it make you more employable? Would you enjoy honours, or would you be begrudgingly doing it? There's kind of 3 things you have to look for. Whether you enjoy being analytical and whether you like knowing the whys and hows of things. 2 is whether you like the supervisors that you have or the project topic that you have. So for me, I had to choose from topics that were already set for research, but I know in other degrees you actually come up with your own topic for honours. So really look at if there's a particular topic that you want to explore, or if you like the topics that are allocated to you. And the topic is really important, because that's a project that you're going to be working on for literally a year or a year and a half, so you're going to want to like it. The 3rd thing that you want to look at is whether you want to pursue further education after your bachelor's degree, so whether you want to go for a PhD, because an honours degree does help in applying for a PhD, but you do have to get a certain mark to apply for a PhD. So if you do honours, it's basically ranked 1st class and upper 2nd class is the top 2 ranks that you can have in order to apply for a PhD. So you do have to work for it. You're not just able to get a PhD if you do an honours, you do have to work really hard. So just really evaluate whether that is what you want to do and whether that is interesting for you in order to get you started on thinking of whether this is the correct career choice for you. I'm going to get into the pros of honours for me, and hopefully it might apply to you. One, again, it opens up doors for career progression. You get a lot of, I guess, contacts with different people in the field, especially if you have a supervisor that's working in the research field, and especially for me, it's an applied science degree, so I get to do a lot of researchy things. Again, you can apply for a PhD if you do well in honours. The reason why I wanted to do honours was because if I didn't do honours right now when it was offered to me and I wanted to do a PhD later, then I would have to do 2 years of a master's and then do my PhD. So even if I do or don't do a PhD in the future, if I do honours now whilst I am still young and healthy, then I could do it in the future if I get a good mark. So that was kind of like a big thing that I thought about, opening up doors so I don't limit myself, so I can really do whatever I want in the future. For me personally, doing research and honours and doing a PhD means you're really a pioneer in the field, especially because occupational therapy is quite a small field and it's quite new as well. So if you are doing research in that area, it is quite emerging and you become like a very prominent person if you are doing a PhD in occupational therapy. You also work on more systematic changes in the field as well, so not just individually talking to clients, but programs and things that you can implement and put in place that have a more wide and further reaching impact on the community. If you do a PhD, you can also become a university professor or lecturer. So if I do want to pursue that field later on in my career, I can also do that. Another thing that I really liked about the project aspect of honours is that I was going to be working on this project for a long time. So that means that I am able to do something that I'm really proud of and then publish it. Another fun thing is that hopefully my name will be published in whatever thesis that I make.